This September, we're launching a new show called Cooking with Greggy. And you know one of the things that fueled my passion in the kitchen? Our sponsor, Blue Apron. Blue Apron's mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone, and it totally helped me when I was starting out by giving me step-by-step instructions along with pre-portioned ingredients that make cooking so easy, even a dummy like me could do it. You pick the meals you want, they're delivered to your door, and you finally get to use those pots and pans you got as a Christmas gift from Grandma and Poppy. Blue Apron knows you're busy, so now they are offering 30-minute meals. These meals are made with the same flavor and farm-fresh ingredients you know and love and are ready in just 30 minutes or less. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/Greggy. That's blueapron.com/Greggy. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Also known as what else you need a shoe. Do you want to come over and chime in on your own bachelor party?
You can. I mean, you got a mic right there too, if you want to. Okay. Whichever one's easiest for you.
Yeah. But if you want to come back, you can do it.
I don't know if you can see her.
Okay, whatever's easitheast. No, come on, come and talk. It's your bachelor party. I want to hear what your
nice.
Your
He's kicking Joey out. Joey's learning how to do it. He's
sitting in a chair.
Huh?
I don't know. There's a whole other setup over there. I can't.
You can't see past this giant TV we bought.
500.
Yeah, that was an amazing.
So which weapon was the best for you there, Kev?
The Scar, the one I posted.
Oh,
on
you like
Instagram.
the Scar?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that was loud as fuck too.
Yeah, the Scar was definitely the best. No, I'm sorry. The Saw.
Definitely.
The Saw.
No,
the squad automatic weapon. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Scar was the best until I had the Saw, which is just the giant version. God, that was so much fun. And then the 50 cal was a lot of power. It
was an experience.
Yeah,
the 50 cal was the one that really got that party next to us to stop.
Yeah.
They were like, because the thing is fucking like 6 feet tall. I mean, long rather. It's huge.
Huge.
Yeah. You've seen them, obviously. I'll tell the audience this. And so like the guy's like, yeah, I mean, like even holding the thing was a chore. Like my brother muscled it up, and he's a pretty strong guy, but I could tell he was sweating with it. But dude, that thing came out, and everyone around him was like, "What the fuck is that thing?
Nope.
Are we taking down a mech with that? Like, what the fuck, man?" And the sound of that fucking thing. The first shot, I actually kind of bitched out, and I cupped my ears a little bit so it wouldn't be that loud, and I forgot to do that on the third one, and it was loud as fuck.
You didn't have ear protection?
We had them, but I depressed them
I
into
see,
my ear
okay.
to like make it.
I
Because
can't
I was
imagine
like,
shooting that
freaking
indoors. I was like out on a mountainside, and it was still
loud.
so loud.
It was all sulfur afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cloud,
Like, oh geez. All right.
So that was that. I think everyone, and we got free T-shirts, of course, and took the obligatory big group picture with all the T-shirts and stuff like that. And we got a free ride back. So that was just a great beginning of the day.
Nice little shuttle ride.
That was fun. And then we went out to dinner. We all got dressed, went out to dinner at Libertine Social, which I thought was a delectable little meal.
It was
really good.
That was, by the way, I could tell. I know Greg Miller's comfort zones, right? Macho Marines firing guns, no. Appetizers and a delectable craft cocktail. Right up his alley.
I don't mind Marines. I just don't like these guys. These guys are just assholes.
They were. I mean, they were
I would
definitely.
revise that statement immediately.
They were the guys that were shepherding us through the gun process were definitely aware that we were a bachelor party, and I think they were trying to play into that a little bit.
Yeah, it's like that guy probably is like actually a feminist who, when he goes home,
totally.
is like
Totally
he's
doubt
got
that,
like a
yeah.
liberal blog.
They were
He's
the
just
worst type of
playing a
human being.
character
that makes more
you
sense. Of course,
to give you that.
I don't know if that's
that immersion.
I don't know if that's a fair assessment of this man's private life. I would not go that far, but
The Marines are lovely people.
but they are, of course.
Well, shout out to Marines.
Shout out to
course.
Marines.
Shout out to the
Don't
Air
forget
Force.
the Air Force, the Navy, Army, all good. Air Force
But
good.
I was fascinated by how much I actually enjoyed and was terrified of the entire process. Like even toward the end, I was like, "This is like nerve-wracking."
I mean,
it's
it was
nerve-wracking
way
to fire all
more
these fucking
enjoyable than
guns.
I thought it was going to be. I was like,
You weren't looking forward to it. You weren't looking forward to it.
But like, it was like
I wasn't different. I like shooting guns.
Like, oh,
For me,
shit.
it was that when we walked in, I saw the price of the package. I was like, oh no, I'd rather spend the money somewhere else. And that was my thing.
Oh, okay, I see that.
I love shooting guns, but I walked in, it was like $100. I'm like, nah. I'm fine.
Well, what we could have done for like I think it was like $30, you could have just shot handguns.
No,
for
I saw.
like 30
Well, that's the
rounds
thing.
of
But I've
handguns.
shot a ton
Like all
of
the
handguns.
idiots in the other one.
Yeah, they're like the shitty bachelor party.
I mean, to be fair, the handgun was a lot more difficult to shoot than the rifle. Like I couldn't hit shit with the handgun, but with the rifle, I was like right to the dick, right to the dick.
Right to the dick.
Of course, I was going for the dick.
You always go for the dick.
I don't want to kill someone, but I want them to fucking remember me if they fuck with me.
Yeah, apparently.
1 to the
Fuck
dick,
with me.
2 to the dick, 3 to the dick. So after that, we turned in early and went to church the next day.
Oh, did we?
And
Oh,
that was the
good.
rest of the bachelor
Oh,
party.
okay, great. Okay,
That was great.
cool. Yeah.
That was super good.
No, we went to strip club.
We went to a strip club after.
Yeah.
And
Which
we
one did you go to?
We went to the Crazy Horse 3.
Crazy
Now-
Horse 3, which
now-
there's a lineage to this. They
There
had to
is.
shut down Crazy Horse 1 and Crazy
2.
House 2.
The last time I was at a Crazy Horse was Crazy Horse 2. And I had a much better time at Crazy Horse 2 than Crazy Horse 3. Crazy Horse 3, just a sham. Just, you might as well have walked in, put down $1,000, lit it on fire, and then walked out.
The word of
That is
the
the-
weekend
that
for me
is-
was swindled.
We got swindled.
We got swindled.
At one point, I think, because we were like, oh, we're going to get Kevin some lap dances or whatever. Like, we're going to make sure he has a good time. And at one point, I think one of the women working there realized that all of us were like more than forthcoming, like to make sure Kevin had a good time with like lap dances. And I think at one point she was like, hey, I just gave your friend a lap dance. It's going to be like $25. And I'd be like, oh, here you go. And then they'd go to my brother and be like, I just gave your friend a lap dance. It was free. Yeah, I think all of us ended up paying
I'm pretty
like,
sure that me, Nick, and Matt had paid for the same girl to give a lap
like for like an hour.
Oh,
It was
my
terrible. It was
God.
terrible. And they like
How are you not
overcharged.
paying attention?
I mean, we were. I mean, a strip club. There's other things to look at.
I guess,
I'll
but
be
I'm
honest
just
with you,
like,
Nick,
The
take a
worst
little
thing
look.
my attention may have been diverted a little bit here and there.
Well, then you deserved it.
Now, I mean,
That
I-
woman,
They were playing the
she's an
game. God
entrepreneur.
bless them. They did what they had
She's
to do.
an
It's a business.
entrepreneur.
I didn't see Kevin all night. He was just covered in women.
I mean, and you know that's it's supposed to be.
Kevin, what? No, Kevin's trying to drop
I
in.
was just gonna say, like, the most interesting like part of all that is that like that was my first time ever going to like a real strip club, and I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah,
I was
I
trying to
don't
get.
enjoy it at all.
I
Okay.
spent like
Such a smart man over there with his like, I couldn't possibly have enjoyed all these fantastic tits in my face.
Shout out to
it
the
was
tits.
horrible.
It's such an awkward experience. There's
It
something
is.
about me that I am not good at handling those things. Where I'm just like, I wish there was a screen in front of me. Like I just want to watch.
I
Oh,
totally
you can do
understand
that.
that.
I don't
like,
They have those
I don't
too.
want my
It's called
someone.
YouPorn. Yeah,
That's fair.
I don't want someone next to me, right? Like
Yeah,
I'm getting
I-
danced on, and my friend is over there. I'm not. There's no scenario where you're gonna be like, ah, fuck yeah, girl, give it to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, you know what I mean? Like,
That was the thing. That was the funny thing about this thing is like we just all kept having the same conversation of just being like it was Kevin, so he didn't have it, and then I'm there with people I've never been to, and it was me and Eric Hart just having like an in-depth conversation for the longest time, and just like I've never understood this. This has never been sexy for me,
You're
but
all
we
going
all
to
feel like
get
we have to do this.
boners
Hey,
together.
It's
I feel
all
like we nailed it. Like it sounds like we're putting it down. It was necessary. It was very necessary.
Was it?
I think it was.
Okay.
It's for.
I mean, it was
for the
fun.
experience. Kevin's never been to a real strip club.
Yeah, and now he knows.
has to be to a
Knowing
real
he's
strip
half the
club.
battle.
Now I'm down to never go again in my
It was,
life.
but the thing is, like, it's very weird, and maybe it was just the strip club we went to. But prior to that, I'd gone to other strip clubs that were not as like fancy as that, and the vibe was a lot more fun, where it was a lot more like, hey, like not as predatory, like going inside. Not for us, but for the
Right.
like going in and going like, oh, these guys are a mark, like I'm gonna hit them and like make sure I get as much money as possible. Like the last time I went to one for a bachelor party, I remember it. I mean, it's always just kind of the same strip club environment where it's not that crazy enjoyable. But at least the guys, we were like left alone enough to like hang out and actually get drinks, and the bottle service wasn't like out fucking outrageously expensive, which you got taken for on that. Like you
I
put your
didn't
card
get
down.
taken. It was what it was.
They gave you, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like that whole process just total. I'm like, I feel like we're being swindled every step of the way. If they'd have been like, hey, the bottle service is granted, the bottles when you buy bottle service anywhere in Vegas, it's gonna be 4 times or 5 times what you walk into a fucking Costco and buy a bottle for. You can buy a
more
bottle
than
of Jack
that,
Daniels
yeah,
for $30. I think a bottle of Jack Daniels in a strip club is like $400. But then seeing all the stupid added shit they put on top of that, where somehow a $400 bottle of alcohol
Well,
goes
it's
up
an
to
ice charge, Nick.
$800 because they delivered it to your table, is like
it had a
fuck you
sprinkler in
guys.
it. Are you kidding? A little sparkler
Exactly.
at the top.
Yeah, I didn't realize at the time when she was like when we went in there and like, all right, the bottle, we did a bottle of bourbon. It's like it's $450 for this, right? And everyone's on the same page at anybody's bachelor party, right? Of like, it's this guy's bachelor party.
Yeah.
We're gonna
We're
make
in
this
Pony
work.
up.
Right.
So like I went in there, I'm like, sure, and the guy like as he's like, you understand? There's like, and I'm like, I know there's charges or whatever. And we went and sat down, and she's like, all right, cool. And she's like, what do you want? I'm like, we'll take this. And she's like, all right, cool. Do you want the presentation? I stupidly said no. Because I was like, no, just bring it out. And then when I got the bill, I was like, oh, well, I should have made you work for it. Because the presentation it's like 3 people who walk out with this giant $100 bill that lights up, and inside is the bottle, and it's like shooting shit out. I'm like, yeah, we should have fucking done that. I was just but I was just so excited to drink. I just wanted more bourbon.
My favorite thing of the strip club experience is one cool Greg Gettys. Having him
Big old CG.
having him be there,
He does
I've
not
never
like
seen a
it.
human being
He does not like it.
less interested in anything happening ever than that. He was just sitting there, just like, And people would be coming up to him. He'd be like, "Nah, bruh." And I'm like, "I love you,
at one
about
point,
it,
gentle soul."
At one point, I was a little drunk, so I'll admit that. I had some alcohol in me, and I was like, "Cool, Greg, I'm getting you a lap dance." And I called over a very nice-looking young woman, and I was like, "This is my friend Cool Greg. We call him Cool Greg. He'd love lap." And before I got the sentence out, Cool Greg was like, "I'm good," and literally got up and walked away. And I was like, "You know,
I like
what?
the
I guess he's
follow-through.
good." Like at one point, I thought he was gonna like stiff arm her to like get her off him because she went to go sit down, and he pulled like a
Heisman.
fucking pulled like a wide receiver like stiff arm and just like banged out. I was like, and then he was gone for the rest of
Don't
the night.
touch the
Eric
gloves.
Hart, Eric Hart tried too, and yeah, it was like it was Cool Greg and Eric were sitting across from each other, and the stripper was here, and Eric Hart's like, "My friend here," and like Cool Greg just leaned across, he's like, "I appreciate what you're trying to do, man, but no," and just leaned back, and we were like,
Doesn't
"All right."
like
And then
it.
Cool Greg and I got cigars, and we just chilled out. That was my favorite part of that night.
Well, see,
was
but
smoking
that's-
cigars and drinking with Cool
That's what
Greg.
it's supposed. That was what I was hoping it would be, right? Which was once we got through all of whatever the shenanigans were going to be like, we would all just get to hang out at a club, drink booze,
And we did.
like, and hang out, and we did. But I feel like it was such a sour experience right off the bat.
No,
I
I was
don't know.
not sour. Honestly, I wasn't soured by anything. I expect the upcharge. Like we were like, you got to do it in Vegas. I know what doing it in Vegas is going to
fair.
entail.
That's
You know
fair.
what I mean? And so it was even the same way. Where in the beginning when we got there and like they're checking IDs and like, "Oh, hey, do you want like Crazy Horse bucks or whatever?" I'm like, "What the fuck's that?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we have, you give us the cashier, we give you the dollar bills that have the thing." I'm
Which,
like,
by the
"Okay."
way, even the fucking bar wouldn't take. Because like,
Oh,
I'm not
right.
taking those. You
Yeah.
gotta give me real dollars for 10.
And I was like, I only
dude.
had 20, so I was like, yeah, sure, give me $20 worth because we'll throw it
This
to Kevin or
Monopoly
whatever,
money.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and I was like, can we give it back at the end? And like, oh yeah, totally. I'm like, all right, great, no big deal. And we went in there and it never left my pocket because Kevin was taken care of and I wasn't gonna do anything. So I'm just chilling out. And on the way out, me and James walked up and we're like, all right, can we get this back? Like, oh, we won't refund it. And I was like, all right, well, and even then I was like, I respect the hustle. You lied to our faces. I knew better. I knew
knew
this
we're
was a
in
weird
Vegas.
transaction to do, but I did it. You got me, Crazy Horse 3.
Yeah, I
I'll
guess.
see you at Crazy Horse 5.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess that's where my disappointment lies, right? Where I'm like, there's some
Where's the line, Nick?
There's some disconnect in my brain where I'm like, well, you're paying this much money. The proprietors of the establishment should want you to have a good time. But at every step of the way, I feel like we were lied to.
Well, they expect everyone's too drunk to realize, and they're just like, we can just get as much money as humanly
No,
possible.
I appreciate that. But prior to that, every time I'd gone to a club, I was like, I'd walk in and be like, okay, here's what's going to happen. In order to sit down, you guys have to have bottle service. If you guys want to have chairs, here's bottle service. Here's how much it costs. And that's how much it cost. Like the last time I went to a club, I think it was like the Olympic Gardens, which doesn't exist anymore because
The OG.
I think it got shut down because it was a brothel. But we'd go there and they were like, hey, it's $300 a bottle. And sure as shit, we got 3 bottles. It was like $900. That was it. And I'm like, okay, overcharge me is one thing. Steal from me is not. That's not cool. And then why the fuck?
Vegas.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just feel like
Vegas.
that
If you
was,
want an honest
It's just gotten
strip
worse.
club, you go to the Admiral Strip Club on the outskirts of Chicago.
Right.
There are 2-for-1 coupons from back in
There
the
you
day. We used to print off on my mom's printer and take them in when one day we're bored. We're like, what do we do? And like, wait, we're 18. We can go to a strip club. And we printed these off, and man, did those people hate us because we had no money. But we got in cheap, and they were nice to us.
You can also go to the strip club in Boston that we went to that time where there actually were no
didn't get
strippers.
to go.
Yeah.
We went. We were really
There was
drunk
just a
after
pole.
party. We went. There was a pole. There was one girl there. And I don't think she was a stripper. I think she was just hanging out. And I think they were actually waiting for one of us to get up. I think that's how that went. I was like, "Are there strippers here?" They're like, "Yeah, there are."
You just got here,
There are
bro.
now.
Got here, buddy. Why don't you take your pants off? Get up there. Show us your leg hair.
So we left there in a limo.
Left
'cause
there
we're
in a
ballers.
limo. That was fun. Came back. What did we do after that?
We wandered around, drank a little bit. That was
we-
when we
we
were
got
going
food.
to
We
gamble.
went to that bar.
Yeah, we were going to
ate some
gamble,
really
but we
good
couldn't
food.
find a blackjack table that could fit all of us.
Right.
So we just went up to the Irish pub and ordered food there.
I had my first car bomb.
And Kevin had an Irish car bomb.
fucking
Yeah, that's
delicious.
the point that I was like, I've had too much alcohol. I'm going to just go back to my room and pick up a small snack. And I picked up, for whatever reason, and this is how drunk I was.
Here we go.
A tuna sandwich from the gift shop,
God.
Why? What the fuck is wrong with you?
which ended up being, and I shit you not, 99% soggy. Like
Oh,
as I
who
was
could
taking,
have-
Oh my God, Meg! What a shocker!
as I
Oh
was
my
taking the sandwich out of,
God.
you know how the plastic that's cut like a half a sandwich diagonally, I'm taking it out and I'm having to pry the pieces away from each other because they've become one congealed ball of tuna.
Who could have predicted?
And I ate the entire thing.
Of course you did. Of course you did. You
Nick,
drunk
sure
piece
did.
of shit.
God,
Of course
no.
you
I
did.
ate the entire
Nick.
thing, and I ate that, and then I realized I also bought a bag of Cheetos and was too full to eat the Cheetos.
Okay, good. Okay, at least there's a limit.
Wow.
So the next day,
Saturday. We're on Saturday now. The Bachelor
wake
Party
up,
weekend.
grab a little breakfast, and this is the day I was looking forward to most because I knew it was going to be a fun day of frivolity and male bonding and just alcoholism, and that's exactly what it was. We rented a cabana, a very nice cabana, at the Moria Beach Club, which is the adult pool of Mandalay Bay,
Which is my favorite word.
Also, toptional. It is a
Toptional.
toptional pool.
Oh, have fun.
Meg just perked up.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
This was fun largely because the pool itself was a cool vibe, but our little cabana area was like closed off and like slightly elevated, so we got to feel
Give
like
the
ballers.
pro tips for the people at home. They're trying to throw some bachelor parties at the Moria Beach Club.
So there are
This is
three. There
fantastic.
are three different types of cabanas at the Moria Beach Club, right? There are the normal, like, hey, we're just like a little bed that's covered, but it's out in the middle with
get the umbrella,
with the pedestrians.
you get the-
you know what I mean? The peons,
normies.
the norms, right? Then there's the pavilion level cabana, which is what we got. Now it's a little pricey, but if you have 10 dudes, it's not that bad. Then there's the baller ass cabana that's elevated. That sucks. Because you're too far removed from everyone to actually feel like
You're
you're
in your
part of the party.
ivory tower
See,
up
what you
there.
want is you want to feel
Unless
like
you want to be removed.
you want to feel like you're part of the party, but that at any given point you're better than everyone.
Yeah,
But you
So
want
it's
them to be able to
you want to
see
be able
that
to
you're
see
better
them, and you
than
want them
them.
to be able to see
I
you.
just like I've done like VIP parties for conventions where they're like the cosplayers are gonna come, they're gonna be there, and they're gonna be in the VIP section. But what it really is we're gonna be just slightly, we're gonna be 3 feet higher than
Right,
you
in a rope.
and you're going to see that we're
Yes.
not talking to you or
Yeah,
hanging out with
100%.
you, and we just look like assholes.
Yes, you do.
Which
Yes,
is
you do.
different in that scenario versus this scenario, which
They're
is
not
just,
paying to hang out with you. I agree with that.
So this
That's
is just
fair. That's fair.
awesome.
This was
Because
fun.
we also not only did we get our own the pavilion, it's a private pool, so
It's
we
a
got our
private
own
pool.
pool elevated
that's
away from
nice.
other people's.
Yeah,
pools.
so it was
we're not
it
just
ended
the
up
creepy
being
dudes.
Is it your
staring
own
at the-
pool or just the other
there's
pavilion
four,
level? Okay.
four cabanas in the
Okay.
pavilion, and everyone gets to share the small, like, little waiting
I
pool.
see.
That was cool. And so it was us, and then there was like another couple or a bunch of couples next to us that were like
3 couples next to
So
us.
here's the
Three
thing:
couples next
there's
to
the
us, like, get away from
four.
kids.
One of them, the people just straight up didn't show up, so
Right.
we lucked out. Then there was these older couples, like 3 older couples. Then there was
They
us.
were awesome.
And then in the other
there was
one,
creepy guy.
there was just one dude.
No, people showed up with him eventually.
Oh yeah, they
one-
did. Like I think his girlfriend showed up eventually.
Yeah. But yes,
But he was
one woman
pretty
did show
creepy
up
beforehand.
eventually.
And this is
but it
me
was just
saying
one
that. I'm
dude
very
holding
creepy.
it down.
Yeah, he was
And
holding
I'm like,
fucking
what is
down.
this dude's story?
They probably, nobody was like, everybody got too drunk the night before. Everyone was like, let's just skip, let's go to brunch. And he's like, I paid for this fucking
paid for it.
cabana.
I'm getting my money out of
going
this.
to the cabana by
Yeah.
myself if I have to.
Which is
He was
oddly
there on his own.
that was
I
Greg's
talked to
theory
him
as
for a
well.
while.
You what?
Greg's theory as well, because we were watching and so all of us got there when it opened at 11, right? There was a big line or whatever. And I'm like, wow, the crowd here is a little older than I remember it being. Like, it's mostly people in their late 30s, early 40s, maybe 50s trying to get away
Nick
from their
starts
kids.
sweating. Nick
and I'm
starts
like,
panicking.
I don't know if this is going to be a fun scene for us because it was like very, like,
12:30, Nick's panicked of like, there's just no young people come. There's no one our age.
I
And
was
I'm
like, yeah,
Nick,
where's
at
the party? There was
by
no party.
2 o'clock, another bachelorette party will have come in. It'll be fine. And sure enough, there had been.
and sure
everything's
enough, by
fine.
2 o'clock, a bunch of parties of
all
like,
the
younger
kids
people
our
came in.
age, and I'm an old man, but all the kids our age, Tim's age, had woken up from their slumbers, had their brunches, come out to party,
Right.
have some fun.
And so the party ensued, and we met up with a bunch of other groups of people and invited them up to hang out with us
Oh,
we
you
had
get to bring people in.
we
Yeah.
could bring whoever we want. They were like, do you want people to come in like to hang out with you guys? And like if and we're like, whatever, like sure. But the issue being, of course, they're gonna come drink your booze, and like if they run up a huge tab, you're on the hook for it.
Yeah.
And so we understood that. We were like, whatever, we don't fucking care.
Let's
Like,
have a good time.
we have this private
The
pool,
key
no one's
thing,
here.
though-
Let's get everyone in.
You're not bringing up the most important thing, though, Nick.
Go for it.
The shirts. So the key to a bachelor party is the shirts. You
Yeah.
need to have matching shirts. People
Right.
need to know that you're a squad,
Right.
that you're rolling deep.
And here's why. Because I walked around with that shirt, and every group of people were like, because the shirt said Kevin Coelho likes the party 2017. Every one of them was like, who's Kevin Coelho? And I'm like, well, let me tell you who Kevin Coelho is. Kevin Coelho is that very nice gentleman up there with that very nice bachelor party with the free beer. Head on up there if you guys want to come party with us. And it worked. And people were like, fuck, why not? Why wouldn't I want to come party with
Man,
you guys?
I wish I had a shirt. It's like, well,
Right.
guess what? We bought extras.
and we brought more. We brought more.
So you brought them with
we ended up
you.
having an
Yeah,
army of
yeah.
people in fucking our shirts.
My
It was
goal
great.
was to try to get as many of the shirts out there as possible
Yeah.
so that people thought we threw the party, the whole fucking party.
And then the extra thing is, we
Meg,
had
it's
So
a
you should have
brilliant
bought a
scheme.
t-shirt cannon.
That would have been fun, but I think that might have got
Why?
us kicked. Well, because we were drunk, and at one point Kevin probably would have pointed that at someone and killed
Fair.
him with it.
We had a
Sorry, Kevin.
Snapchat
Always
filter as
say that
well of
when we
Kevin
talk about
wearing the
this.
shirt, so people that were there would know, like, oh man, those guys. which is awesome.
It's a brilliant idea, and I'm glad I got to finally see it in action because I'd heard about it from the other bachelor parties, and then to see it enacted of like the shirt slowly proliferating, and you and Eric, or you and who I think you might have gone at one point, but just patrolling. Where like for no reason they're like, we're gonna walk, and they just walked around the pool until somebody would be like, what the fuck is this?
It was a great conversation piece, and I felt like you have to be the you have to be the emissary for the party, right? You have to make sure that people are understanding that there's shenanigans happening up there, and that there's a fun time happening, and that they're welcome to come join the party if they want. And we invited multiple people, like groups of people up, and a lot of people were kindly declined. And then there were some people like, yeah, why the fuck when we stop by for a drink for a little bit and get a free T-shirt? Who cares? And it was fun. And I somehow, after being horribly hungover the night prior, and I think it was the tuna sandwich that saved my life, felt fantastic the next day. Enough to drink not one, not two. Well, it was your fault.
Yeah.
Because you were like, let's get some sunset lemonade.
Yeah, I was limeade. I started with the sunset limeade. Or sunset lemonade and something poolside limeade.
I had the sunset lemonade. You had the poolside limeade.
Yeah, sure. Damn right. They had tropical.
I shit you not, 10 of those.
Jesus.
10.
I have
That's
never
bad.
seen either of you so drunk. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never seen you that drunk.
You were Greg Miller.
I mean, I was
all
drunk.
caps
Don't get me
special.
wrong,
See-
but I feel like you see me drunker than
Not-
that.
And this is how I know you were drunk, because to me, I was really drunk. You seemed on my level. Like I was like, I can understand what you're saying. And then
Yeah.
Kevin goes, Nick, you were so drunk yesterday. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, He's like, I didn't know you were drunk until you opened your mouth and was just a slur of words. I was like, buffet. Let's go to the buffet.
That's Vegas.
The
for you,
buffet,
baby.
Vegas,
the
baby.
buffet is definitely where it caught up to me. I feel the entire pool
yeah,
time
once you
I was
sat
fine.
down, yeah.
But when we went to the buffet, for sure, I was
walking
like, I'm wasted.
towards the buffet, you were like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And then do you remember you ripped my sandal in half by accident?
No.
You sounds like a great
Did I pick it up?
For some reason, you
maneuver.
thought it'd be funny to step on my foot as I was walking.
That's hilarious. Good job, drunk Greg.
You also there was chopsticks along the way that you decided to pick up and start putting in people's ass cracks.
Yeah, that I remember. That I remember. Our people's ass cracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, not assault.
No, not.
No.
Maybe our people should hide their ass cracks, you know?
So then, of course, the next order of operations was, in fact, the buffet. I was
Fair.
like, we all need to get some food in us right now, or otherwise we're going to be useless later tonight.
Real quick,
Yeah.
before we continue the story and go, I want to tell you how I loved that pool day. That pool was awesome.
right?
That was so much fun. And that was like, seriously, I'm going to sunbathe and drink all day. Like, I'm not, even when you go on
From
vacation,
11
like,
a.m. to 7 p.m.
we were out there.
Yeah.
We out there. And like the food was great. The company was great. We had all these great beers. I had all these great conversations with all of you. The three couples next to us of old
We had
people.
a blast with them.
The one who, in the very beginning, one of the women one of the couples was just like, it's the mom in me, but are you guys reapplying sunscreen? And so from then on, we called her mom, and she took photos for us. And then like,
Also got a shirt. We gave her a shirt.
oh,
as well.
of course they did. And I was bumming around talking to her and her other friend. They're like, I've been married 20 years, and she's been married 25, and I'm drunk, but I'm like, I'm in love with my wife, Genevieve Saint-Ange. I'm like, how do you make a marriage last? And without missing the beat, the woman who's been in 20 years, she's like, fuck them every day. And I was like, thank you. That is advice I'll pass on to my wife. I was like, what about you? And she's like, come to Vegas a lot with your friends. I'm like, all right, well.
There was an article about a woman who, her and her husband had sex every day for a year.
Yeah.
Every single day for a year. And she was like, would never do it again.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure, yeah.
There's probably a lot of chafing that happening.
It's
during
just
that.
there's so many muscles that I have never flexed before are sore just listening to that.
Sure. But that was just a great thing. And I'm like, I would do this again outside of Bachelor
That
Party
was one
or
of the
whatever.
things. I do remember a little bit of a blur the whole day, but I do remember you and I sitting in the pool talking, being like, how come we don't, well, I mean, obviously because our schedules are fucking ridiculously packed, but like, wouldn't it be great if we brought all like our significant others back and did the same thing, but with just the couples, and just sat there, because my wife would love it. If you gave my wife her own private pool so people could see her elevated above them, and
That's
like
definitely what Dila would love.
she would love it. She would fucking.
But that
love
was the thing, I mean,
and they had
coming-
poolside massages, which she would absolutely love.
Coming into this, like, it was the whole thing of I was super excited for it, and I wasn't excited for it for like, oh, Bachelor Party, bro. It was just the fact of like, and I had to stop on the way to the airport and think, and it was like, oh, I'm excited because we travel all the time, but we never travel for
don't
fun.
travel to hang out.
We always go to a work or convention or the shoot or whatever. So to go there and just be like, it's 2 days of fucking around. I was like, that's
do whatever
fucking
I wanna do.
awesome.
Shout out to me not getting sunburned.
Can't
Can't
do it,
believe
right?
that
I believe
happens.
it was James Burke who said we figured out the secret: reapply every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes. I fucking did it.
He was caked in
He
white.
looked like a kabuki girl.
It was
Like,
all in his beard, and he's
just
like,
never-
I don't care.
That was 2 weeks ago.
He's carrying on normal
Where did I
conversations
go?
with people, like just caked in it,
Oh,
and he's just
was
like, I
in
don't
LA,
care.
And I got sunburned to the point that I blistered all over my face.
my God, that's
so I
so
was
bad.
like,
So
fuck
dangerous.
it. Fuck it. I am white on white here. Let's go. But no sunburn.
No, you did. You nailed it. You
Yeah.
nailed it. A couple notable things that we saw. I don't know how
God.
nasty we want to get on
I mean,
this.
I'm
going to tell
I
the
feel
story
like we
'cause I think
have
it's
to
hilarious.
say the nastiest.
We have to say
thing.
the nastiest thing, right? So obviously there were plenty of people who were showing skin at the party, right? And it's a top shuttle pool, and people took advantage of that. We were all topless as well, joining in the fight, right? There were a group of girls in front of us who I think, what was their hashtag?
Hashtag Asian moms.
Asian moms.
Asian
Yeah.
moms.
Very topless, very much
Hot Asian moms,
Hot Asian
excuse
moms.
me.
That's what it was. Very topless, and one of them, I think,
Had a
was
cool party trick.
She had a party trick. So let's just put it this way: if you ordered coffee and they forgot your cream, she would be able to make that happen for
She's a wet nurse.
you. She was wet nurse, yeah. So she at one point thought it was funny to start squirting down people with her
That's
lactating
a
breast
skill.
milk. And at
Your
one by
breasts
one,
don't just lactate at will. Like, you gotta work on that.
I didn't see this, and this is my one regret from the whole trip.
My one regret
is that I wasn't around, but at one by one, people would be like, "You have no fucking idea what I just watched. I just saw this girl squirt breast milk into her friend's face." And I'm like, how? Why does God hate me so much? Why can't I see this? I've been staring in this direction for like 3 hours and nothing happens. I don't get it. So
Watching it was shocking.
I don't doubt it.
It shocked me.
And then the other thing that was notable was we were there for so long that we were able to see the plants, the people that you could tell were obviously hired to be there, like as the good-looking people that would get
Right.
the topless party started. And so there would be like, you would see just most normal people walking in, normal, and then the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life, and then she would plunk down and then immediately take her top off, and you're like,
It worked though, because
totally
it
worked.
started getting everyone feeling comfortable. Like, hey,
Everyone's
I
fine.
could do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the end of the day, everyone was topless.
Pretty much everyone was
Pretty
topless.
much.
That's so interesting that you would. I understand why you would hire an attractive woman to do that, but I feel like you would also hire like a mid-range
Well, we
because
thought-
if it's too like intimidatingly good.
we thought the hot Asian moms might have been plants too, because they seemed to know everyone that worked there. So we're like, okay,
They
maybe
were
they're
undeniably planned.
I was gonna say, when you guys initially said that, I was like, no way. And then like their boyfriend showed up. I was like, no way. And then eventually they got up and they put on the shirts and went to a step and repeat. And I was like, that's a plant, all right.
Yeah.
They had a step and repeat. I was like, that's
Makes
a fucking
sense.
real thing, right?
Makes sense.
Oh man, it was a spectacular weekend.
Yeah, we
Big
didn't do much
fan.
out of it. Saturday night, I think that's the
No,
only
no.
the only flaw with Saturday night is that we're so fucking tired from the pool day that none of us want to go.
No,
rage.
but that's the brilliance of this bachelor party. You planned
Right.
it perfectly, where there was a resting period, and that resting period included a nap. Then we did make a fatal flaw of walking on the strip. We shouldn't have done that.
bad.
But when we came
That was an
back,
awful idea.
everyone else except for Greg, because Greg was done.
I was gonna say my resting period was 12 hours in bed. I did the buffet and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap, like Nick said to. And I woke up at 12:30 at night and I was like, oh fuck this, and I went back to bed.
The rest of us went up to her suite. We
Yeah.
were all just chilling, ordered some pizza, and watched Superbad.
Yeah, we did.
And Harry
Yeah, we did.
Potter.
And Harry
And
Potter.
a lot of Harry Potter.
A lot of Harry Potter. There was a Harry
great. It
Potter
was
marathon.
awesome.
Yeah, so that was Kevin Coelho's bachelor party. It
was really good.
It was well done.
2017.
I feel like we could rinse and repeat elements of that. Probably leave out the strip club and the guns and just go for the cabana day with our.
I'm
significant
telling you,
others.
man.
That'd be fun.
I'll go once a month for the cabana day. That was awesome. So relaxing. Flying Friday, do that. Take off
Good.
Sunday.
Yeah, we could do it. We can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy Show, everybody. Click here to go to Patreon. Click here to subscribe. Click here to check out Kinda Funny Games. And click here to see a video of a very, very young Andy Cortez. We don't have that video. It's just other content of ours. Kinda funny.